Very funny gentleman. Please get up for Mr. Mark Dawson.
Hey guys, thanks for coming. Should be fun. Didn't Nick do awesome? That guy was hilarious. Yeah, great job. So I don't want to be one of those one-upper people, but the first thing I was just going to brag about one thing, and that's I've been married to my wife Angie for 15 years. And yeah, which is really cool. And I was telling her the other day, sweetie, this has been awesome. It's been like one long date. She's like, yeah, one long, very long date. Thing is, it's great to match up to somebody way out of your league. That's what most of us guys aspire to do. But it's harder and harder to impress them as time passes. I thought I had something pretty darn good the other day. She'd been traveling, and the house was kind of a disaster. And I thought, I'm going to be really helpful. I'm going to impress her. There's stuff everywhere. So I sat my butt down. I'm going to write out a priority list of all the things that could get done, laundry, this, that, the next thing. Put it right there on the counter for her so she knows the priorities when she gets home. But the problem is we know lots of people who are way better than me, and one of our friends is one of these super husband dudes who she tells me, oh, listen to what Larry did for Kim for their anniversary. He did like this little scavenger hunt. He left a note with a poem, and it led to one present, and then another present, there was something that gave her a clue to the next present, and then a jewelry at the end. Fuck me. Okay, I'll try. I'll try to be more like super husband. So I'm like, maybe kind of copy him, but I'll do a little scavenger hunt of my own. So I do a little thing right on our counter with an arrow to the top of the dishwasher. Sweetie, look in here for a surprise. And then in the top counter of the dishwasher, it's, I love you so much, these dishes are not going to unload themselves. And then in the counter where the dishes go, walk your beautiful self to the laundry room. Please don't forget to overdry my jeans again. And then the scavenger hunt continues. We have weeds that need to be pulled out in the backyard by the fire pit. And out there I did what I thought was a really flattering and heartfelt kind of sexy note. I found out that it was a lewd and immature note. And she forbidded, whatever that word is, to read that note to you guys tonight. So I guess I won't do that. But I just saw the look she gave me, so I'm going to be good. But it's all the things we do, it's absolutely crazy the things we do to impress our wives. For some reason, if she asks me a question, I feel like I have to give her an answer. And it's even worse when I don't know the answer at all. Like she asked me, what's the big deal guys always make about 4 cylinders to 6 cylinders in cars? I'm like, oh, well, you may not know, most cars are somewhere between 7 and 22 cylinders. But that's not where the car gets its power. It's how much torque can run through the Johnson rod to the discombobulator. And believe me, you never want to put cotton candy in the gas tank of a car. And I try to move on to another subject. She asked me about building houses. Like, oh yes. Oh, very complex. Well, it's actually more simple than you would think. Up until the year 2008, the plans were just drawn right on the ground with spray paint. But since 2008, they've been using computers to do this. And it starts with something that's known in layman's terms as a dig-holer. They dig a big hole. Us in the business call it a hole digger. And after that, it's pretty much just like building a big tree house, but without the tree. Nothing to it at all. So the harder it gets to impress her, the more I try to point out people who are worse than me. Like I have this one friend who has kind of a big head and a drinking problem, and I point that out every chance I can get. Oh my God, you see the size of that thing? It's a small planet. I thought there was an eclipse in here. But making fun of my friends always backfires. We were at a golf tournament, and I come home just laughing so hard I can hardly talk. You should have seen it. We paid some people to push Bob into the duck pond, $50 if he got all the way submerged, and he made this huge splash, and he came up swearing. It was the most funniest thing you've ever seen. Oh my God, you would have been so proud of me. And she's like, Mark Dawson, that is so mean. Well, yeah, it was Todd's idea. And then she's all, I bet that ruined his day, and I bet that made him feel really bad. Yeah, I know, I feel really bad too. I think if I had a foot massage and some ice cream, I might feel a little bit better. I'll even point out, like, I have nephews 3 and 4 who are toddlers. I'll point out, stuff that I can do better than them. Like, those kids, table manners are terrible. They drool when they talk. They know nothing about wine. I'm way sharper than them. They like to watch cartoons with them, and we were watching the other day, the Coyote and Roadrunner came on, I'm like, look at this coyote. This guy's dumber than some of my friends. He's chasing this damn roadrunner. He's ordering explosives and weapons to catch this roadrunner. He obviously has a credit card. Why doesn't he just order some food, like a chicken sandwich or something like that? Make a whole lot more sense. I've got way better critical thinking skills than that guy. The biggest failure I think we have is apologizing. Like prehistoric man, it was always fight or flight. That's how we're wired. And I'm an educated man, so I have fight, or blame somebody else. And that's kind of my go-to move most of the time. We had an incident where, one of those things that can happen to anybody where I drunk texted a bunch of people, like every contact in her phone, something pretty lewd. And I thought, wow, that's attention. She's going to really appreciate that. And she's like, oh, yes, I'm sure the pastor's wife really appreciated that. Like, well, there should have been something next to her name saying, don't text anything lewd to this person. I'm not a mind reader. It's supposed to be a smartphone. So I had a little thing where the state of Montana took my driver's license away for too many speeding tickets. And she's just madder than hell at me. I'm like, hey, I don't know what I'm missing here, but I don't see how this is my fault. I mean, we've got overzealous cops. I asked for a radar detector for Christmas and didn't get one. And obviously, most speeders in the state of Montana are white, so clearly I'm being racially profiled. Anyone can see that. Okay, I've got to read you this note. Well, you know what? If you guys think I should read the note I wrote to her, would you clap real quick for me? Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Because it wasn't that bad. Now I'll be able to tell her, hey, those guys really wanted to hear it. Okay, all it said was, most girls who are as hot as you are a total pain in the ass, and you're not. I've really enjoyed having sex with you these last 17 years. You've been awesome. Thank you. And that was for our anniversary. I'm like, that's better than anything you can put in a card. It's heartfelt, sincere. I didn't like it. So I'm trying to show off my intellectual side to her, and I'm watching the History Channel in the middle of the night on World War I. I'm thinking, okay, I can take some of these facts and act like I always knew them and throw them in. So over breakfast, I dozed off and I was flipping to VH1 20 Hottest Country Singers. So over breakfast, I'm sitting there going, well, you probably remember that the conflict between imperialism and nationalism is what was the big start of this war, and the assassination of the Archduke started off. But what most people don't remember is that Shania Twain was behind the whole thing. So she's basically saying, you know what, you're a pain in the ass. I'm like, you know what, you have no idea how hard I have to try. I really do try hard to not be a pain in the ass. And she says, you have no idea how hard I have to try not to snap your fucking neck. I know. I just want to acknowledge one of my super husband competition friends. He's in the house tonight. I played golf with him the other day, and he's telling me he's going on a missionary thing to the Philippines, like to build houses and preach to the poor and all this. But to make myself look better, when I got home, I spun this. Get this, Jeremiah's going off without his wife and kids to some tropical destination again. I would never do that. I just want to take a vacation with you and hang by the pool in Las Vegas and go out to shows and drink at night. Aren't you glad you married me instead of the likes of him? Way back, yeah. Okay, so thank you guys all very much for having my childish antics.